Hey guys, I'm back with another video. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope your Monday was great. Happy Halloween, happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and is there anything else going on? Isn't it like Lupus Awareness Month? Or no, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, right? I think so. So today's video is gonna be kind of, serious, but it's my story. And I'm gonna be talking about my bullying story. To make a long story short or a long story medium, I was chubby. I was chubby, fat, whatever you want to call it. And it was because I was eating. I was eating because the food was given to me. It wasn't like, I want popsicles. No. I said I want popsicles. It wasn't like that. It was just that I was always with my grandmother, my mother's mom's mom, okay, if you follow. And she's from the South. She cooked for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can probably count on my hand how many times we ate out with her. And, in that household, there was no such thing as not finishing your food. Even if you were full, I had to, either save it for later or I had to eat it all right then and there. And it's not like they forced it or whatever. It was just like, I didn't think of it like that or anything. It was just, that's what it was. You finish your food. We don't have, ain't nobody got a whole bunch of money to be, for you to be wasting food. You're not going to throw it away. You're going to eat it until there's no more. So that was just basically the consensus of it. I liked food, and when it was around, I ate it. Probably shouldn't have ate so much in quantity, but I remember going to the doctor probably around 8 years old for a routine checkup, and she said I was 180 pounds overweight for the standard weight for an 8-year-old at that time. I'm 23 now, so you can count back. I don't know if it's changed or what it is now or even what it was back then. Oh, not 180 pounds overweight. I'm so sorry. I was 80 pounds overweight. And so I'm sure the doctor told my mom about some dietary restrictions that she could put me on, but I don't really remember it being a thing. There wasn't a conversation like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, blah blah blah, so you can lose weight. It just wasn't really a thing. And yes, my grandmother cooked vegetables and my mother cooked vegetables, but my grandmother put fat back in the vegetables. And if you don't know what fat back is, it's just basically pork fat it's on the top of the meat. And she would put that in the greens, beans, whatever. It was just always in there on whatever she was cooking. So kids didn't like that. Kids didn't like that in school. I was bullied from 1st grade to 6th grade. And being a chubby, quiet girl who stays to herself, they thought that was weird. And to add being fat on top of that, oh honey, no. You're just asking for, dual trouble. Like that's not what they did over here. That's not what that wasn't a thing. So I got talked about. I was a fat ass, a fat bitch. I was probably whatever cartoon character's name was fat on TV at the time. Like I was just fat. Like I was so chubby, like I couldn't even my stomach touched my desk. Like that's how chubby I was. But I was happy. you know, in retrospect, I was happy, but I was sad that I was getting bullied because I was like, I'm just big. Like, I'm a nice person. I can be a good friend, yet you just want to bully me so bad, you know? And I didn't tell my parents or any of my family members or my older sister because at the time my granny got really sick and she was staying with us. And when she got sick, she became weaker and weaker and weaker. And I saw that every day. You know, your granny goes, or someone you love goes from being this lively, smiling, laughing, walking around, able person to needing help, and you don't know what to do but pray. You can't help her. And that was hard because my mom didn't have a conversation with us about what was going on. I just knew Granny was sick and I thought it was going to get better, but it didn't. And she just got weaker and weaker, and kids didn't know that, you know? Kids don't know. That's the thing when you bully kids. You don't know what's going on in their households outside of school. So that was hard because I didn't really have an outlet. Like, you would think, seeing that at your home, you'd think you would be able to go to school and just learn and be around your friends and be a kid, which I did. I still had a childhood. I was still a kid, but my mind matured really fast, especially with sickness, illness, and essentially death being right there. Like, my granny would be in another room, and I would be in the other room doing my homework, and I just remember her sleeping all the time. Like, it just wasn't the same. And, you know, I didn't tell anybody because, one, I didn't tell my mom because it's like, okay, it just seems so small and so minuscule to bring up the fact that I was getting talked about. And here, it was my mom's mom, our granny is sick. Like, it was just like, why, as a child, it's like, why would you bring that up? Like, it's like, why would you put more on your mother's plate? Because I thought it was like, okay, what? You tell your mom you're getting all this bullying. She goes up to the school. She's going to have to take off work. And then that's going to she's probably going to have to leave my granny at home. So that's going to take away time from watching her to make sure she's okay. Like, I thought about all that. And it was just like, bullying, bullying, granny, bullying, granny, bullying, granny. Like, that's where it was. And I remember this one distinctive moment. Of course, like, all the name calling. But I remember I had to leave the classroom because I had to perform with my chorus for an assembly. And like most auditoriums, atriums, theaters, you can't bring food or drink in there. And so I had to leave this bottle of juice I had on my desk. And, you know, my teacher said she would watch it. So after singing for like 3 assemblies, all I want to do is get to my juice. My throat is dry, it's scratchy. At this point, I'm just thirsty. And yeah, I could have went to the water fountain, but no, I didn't get a chance to enjoy my juice. So that's all I wanted. So I get back to my classroom. I sit down at my desk. I open my juice. I put it to my lips. And it tastes funny. And then I remember the smell of rubbing alcohol. And then it all clicked. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, somebody put sanitizer in my juice. Hand sanitizer. And in hindsight, I remember sitting down and the kids like looking at me, like the kids at my table and the table to the side of me, like looking in anticipation for me to drink my juice. And I remember sitting my juice back down on the desk, and I was like, who put hand sanitizer in my juice? Of course, they were all quiet. And I was like, no, seriously, who did this to my juice? And I remember this one girl, I will never forget her name. She did like this. And I was like, why? And clear as day, she just went, like she just shrugged her shoulder like, I don't know. And if you would have seen her facial expression, it was like, I don't know, but I also don't give a damn, you know? And so that memory, that incident followed me a long time because I internalized it. I didn't tell anybody about that until probably 2015 when I was at a restaurant with my father, my older sister, and my twin sister. I don't remember what conversation we were on, but I remember sharing that story and bursting out into tears at the table in the restaurant because I didn't heal. I didn't heal from it. I was so longing for just wanting to go to school, learn, have a little fun, and come home. But at 8 and 9 years old, I had to worry about being bullied and what's going to happen to my granny. That was a lot. That was a lot. And like, why don't you tell your school counselors or your principal? They don't do anything to bullies. Nothing happens to bullies. When you say something, the least they get is an in-school suspension, and then they go right back to bullying you because you snitched. It doesn't stop anything. Might as well not say anything. But you do say something. If you're being bullied, you say something. If you see somebody being bullied, you say something. And after that, that's what I started doing, especially when I got in 7th grade. At that time, I was going to a different school than a school I was being bullied at. And I reported bullying all the time, anonymously, and sometimes not anonymously, because I didn't want any kid to go through that. Kids shouldn't have to. And you hear like older adults or people from different generations say it's just like growing pains. You shouldn't have to go through that type of pain to grow up. Like, that's unreal. Like, unfortunately, it happens in our society, but that shouldn't be the standard to being a kid. No. And bullying still affects me to this day because I'm paranoid. Every time I'm around a group of people or in large groups, if I just hear someone whispering faintly, not even knowing what they're saying, but just hear them whispering, I think they're talking about me. And I'm like, oh my God, are they talking about me? Do I look okay? I'm looking down, checking my clothes. I'm pulling my phone out, checking my hair, making sure I have nothing on my face or on my teeth. I'm paranoid now with indistinct chatter. And of course, since then I've lost a lot of weight, and I continue to, lose weight. But sometimes I just feel like no matter how toned or slim I look, or how many people tell me I look thin and toned, I'm still gonna be that chubby girl. Because I'm like, I say thank you, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you don't even know the half. I still got these jiggly arms and this one little, bakery roll over here. And it bothers me sometimes. And it sounds cliche, but the best advice I can give, because I don't know what my audience is now or what it will be in the future, but the best advice I can give is to, one, tell someone. I don't care if you're like, I don't have a mom, I don't have a dad, I don't have XYZ. You tell someone, someone is going to care. It could be a stranger. They're going to care because your life is important. You don't want to get to the point where you internalize so much that you feel like you don't want to be here anymore. That you shouldn't have to think about that as a child or a teenager in high school. You should just be going to school and living your life. So first things first, say something. Second thing, stick up for yourself. I know it's scary. But let me tell you, when I moved, when I knew I was going to a different school, I was like, you're not going to accept this anymore. So people would talk about me, I talked about them right back. I retaliated what they gave me. And I've had to cuss a lot of people out because, they wanted to talk about me from 7th grade till now. I mean, when people talk about me now, as you get older, it won't matter. Like, when you hit 18, for me, it didn't matter anymore. For you, it might be different. But before 18, you best believe I defended myself with my words. I cussed everybody out. Everybody who talked about me. Third piece of advice I would give is love yourself. Be happy with yourself. Be proud of your differences. Be proud of your weirdness. Be proud of your quirkiness. Just be yourself. It's cliche, but it's the strongest, reminder you can say to yourself. Be yourself. Put it on your lock screen of your phone, your lock screen of your laptop, wherever you can put be yourself, put it there to remind you that you're important and you matter because you do. So that's my story. I hope it helps someone. I hope it reaches someone. And I will see you guys in the next video.